Greetings, everyone. We are delighted to have such a wonderful audience for tonight's show. However, unfortunately, there's some distressing news to report. Recently, a Target store in San Francisco decided to put all of its merchandise under lock and key, instead of just some of it. This includes everything from shavers, watches, and appliances, to perfume. While it's understandable to secure expensive items, it seems excessive to lock up every single product in the store. As I saw the images of the locked cabinets and considered the cost of securing every item, it made me wonder, instead of locking up the merchandise, why not lock up the people who steal it? It shouldn't be so hard to catch and prosecute these criminals. It's alarming that our culture has come to a point where retailers can't leave products on the shelves without fear of theft. This isn't just an inconvenience for the store, it's also an additional cost that affects everyone. The expenses of building locked cabinets and hiring extra staff to manage them are ultimately passed on to the consumer through increased prices. So, let's address the root cause of the problem and hold criminals accountable, rather than burdening honest customers with higher costs. Recently heard the news that Joe Biden has formally announced his candidacy for the presidency again. While this wasn't a surprise to many, it seems that even Biden himself was caught off guard by his announcement in a video that circulated online. Some have joked about Biden's announcement, but it's important to remember that running for president is a serious matter. It's crucial that candidates are focused on the issues and the needs of the people they aim to represent. While Biden claims he wants to finish the job he started, some are skeptical that he's the right person for the job. Recent polls have shown that over 70% of Americans don't believe Biden should run for president again, yet he's determined to do so. In contrast, I have no desire to run again, even if there are a few people who may support me. The important thing is to listen to the will of the people. Furthermore, it's essential to have a vice president who is capable and ready to step in if needed. Vice President Kamala Harris has been touted as the next in line, but it's essential to evaluate her qualifications carefully. While she has given speeches about contextualizing our present in history and understanding the future, it remains to be seen if she is ready to take on the role of president if necessary. As we move forward, we must remain focused on the issues that matter and choose leaders who are capable and committed to representing the interests of the people. The future of our country is at stake, and we must choose wisely. Welcome to our show tonight, and thank you for joining us. We have an exciting lineup for you, including former North Dakota Governor and Secretary of Agriculture Ed Schaefer, who will be joining us in the studio. Later, we'll have chart-topping country music artist Mark Wills performing on our show. If you're interested in staying up to date with our show and other political news, please visit BikeHuckery.com and sign up for Governor Mike Huckabee's free newsletter. You can also follow him on Twitter at @GovMikeHuckabee. During his tenure as governor, Ed Schaefer achieved significant success in North Dakota, reducing unemployment to record levels, increasing funding for schools and infrastructure, and turning around the state's economy. He accomplished this while simultaneously reducing the cost of state government, which was a novel concept at the time. One of the keys to his success was recognizing that people were looking for economic recovery, jobs, and a less costly, more efficient government. By focusing on these issues and engaging with communities directly through programs like CAP for the Day, he was able to shape public policy that directly reflected the needs and desires of his constituents. However, the current political atmosphere is acrimonious and divided, and it's challenging to get things done when leaders are more concerned with getting re-elected or succumbing to Facebook hits. Good public debate and compromise are crucial to crafting sound public policy that represents the people's best interests. My biggest fear is that we're not listening to each other and stiff-arming one another, which leads to policies that only benefit special interest and personal interest groups. It's time to get back to the basics of governing, which includes bringing people to the table and engaging in constructive public debate that takes into account all perspectives, even those we may disagree with. In seeking common ground, we must strive to understand one another's beliefs and objectives in order to work together towards a shared goal. As Secretary of Agriculture, it is crucial to educate Americans on the value and significance of the agricultural community and the hard work and environmental efforts that go into producing our food supply. Unfortunately, as society becomes more urbanized, we are losing the strong sense of community and character that is generated by working the land and supporting one another in rural areas. It is important to remember the values of hard work, honesty, and lending a hand to our neighbors in order to maintain this sense of community and foster a strong work ethic. On another note, comedian Rick Roberts joins us tonight to share his humorous observations on everyday life, from fast food orders to driving with teenage boys. We hope you enjoy his performance, and don't forget to check out our merchandise to show your support for the show. During a recent exchange, a parent recounted a situation with their daughter. The parent praised their daughter's positive traits, such as intelligence and honesty, but expressed concern about her lack of discretion. The incident in question involved the daughter commenting on another individual's clothing choice in public. This led to an embarrassing situation for the parent. The anecdote serves to highlight the need for proper social etiquette and manners in public spaces. Following the exchange, the conversation shifted to lighter topics, such as entertainment and upcoming events. Notably, former Trump staffer Kash Patel was welcomed as a guest. Patel spoke at length about his experiences in government and his upcoming book, Government Gangsters, which promises to shed light on the shadowy world of the so-called deep state. Patel also touched on recent news regarding a security breach involving a young National Guardsman, stressing the importance of maintaining proper security protocols and the need for a diligent, vigilant approach to national security. Later in the program, gardening expert Jamie Yost joined the discussion, sharing tips on how to transform a patio into a tranquil haven. Yost outlined a basic formula for creating an attractive, mixed planter using the Spiller-Filler-Thriller approach. The technique involves selecting plants with varying heights and textures to create visual interest. Yost demonstrated the process, using a salvia and mulla mulla as examples. The segment proved informative and engaging, providing a welcome respite from the day's heavier topics. In the following passage, the speaker gives instructions on how to create a flower arrangement in a bowl. They begin by instructing the listener to pull out the tallest plant and place it at the back of the bowl, as this will be the height of the arrangement. They then introduce the filler plants, which are important to the overall look of the arrangement, and explain that they will be adding some vinca, sun coleus, begonias, and lantana to the bowl. The lantana, in particular, will attract pollinators like hummingbirds and butterflies. These filler plants will be placed in the middle of the bowl to add dimension. The speaker then moves on to the spiller plants, which will spill over the edges of the bowl and give the arrangement a more dynamic look. They suggest using lobularia, which is a white flower similar to baby's breath. Finally, the speaker instructs the listener to add topsoil to the bowl and finish it off with a good watering. The speaker then shifts gears and discusses the benefits of using good potting soil and bone meal for the plants. They also mention their own experience with hunting and how they got into it to help their daughter with a digestive issue. The conversation turns to the speaker's trips overseas to entertain the troops in their new album, which is a collection of some of their previous hits that never got much airtime. The speaker then performs their song Looking for America, which touches on the disappearing small-town America and the search for freedom.